Hey folks, today we have Azhar joining us. He has admits from across the globes is what basically I can say. He has admits from both UK university as well as US universities. So yes, we'll quickly jump on to Azhar. So yeah, Azhar, can you give a quick intro about yourself and the admits you are having?
Sure, thank you, Anurag. I'm Mohammed Azhar. I've got about 7 years of experience in IT consulting, and I've touched on various fields in IT consulting. And I hold admits from the University of Rochester, Simon Business School,
Mm-hmm.
as well as University of Manchester at Alliance Manchester Business School.
Mm-hmm. So, Azhar, can you just tell us what are the various scholarships or fundings you have received from either of those admits?
Right. So I received a 50% scholarship at Simon, and I
Mm-hmm.
received 35% at Manchester. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty nice offers.
Yeah. So, Azhar, while you have actually got such great offers, like how did you choose? Because most of the people I have actually spoken about are either having admission from US universities or UK
Hmm.
universities, but you have a
Hmm.
very unique combo where you have actually kind of put your eggs in multiple baskets, is what I can see. Like, how
Right,
did you
right.
decide upon that kind of a thing?
Well, I'll be honest to you. My goal was to get into the UK. So the
Mm-hmm.
UK was the geography I was targeting,
Mm-hmm.
and Simon happened kind of in the last minute, I would say.
Okay.
I just thought, applying at Simon at the last moment, just
Yeah.
got on a call with their adcoms and
Mm-hmm.
applied, and it worked out. So,
Okay.
my target has been the UK. But
Okay.
having said that, I think there are some very interesting schools in the US that I also
Mm-hmm.
applied to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would be open to US as well if
Okay.
the university is great and if it's a great name on the CV.
Sure. So no, it seems to be a wise decision to be really honest, Azhar, seeing the current circumstances. You are the most
Hmm.
likely to get into university and go for an in-person learning this time around. So the US folks will be stranded. So I
Okay.
really don't know. Hopefully things
Yeah.
do normalize. You can't really do anything about it. But moving on to the, how did you approach your preparations for getting into those colleges? Because what do I mean? Is that there will be multifold approach of getting into those colleges. Like can be a GMAT preparation where you score high or mediocre, and then you network, get a good hold of it. You do your SOP and the LORs and get a good
Right.
interview, and that's how you get into this preschool. So, how was your approach about going about it?
Right. So initially, well, I was not confident at all. I
Okay.
would say, once
Mm-hmm.
I started exploring the, NBA options, I first of all, like most of them, I pulled out the FT rankings,
Okay.
and I saw. Then I thought,
Yeah.
okay, I should probably be targeting 90 to 100. So I was
Okay.
that
Ha ha ha.
underconfident, I would say.
Ha ha ha
But
ha.
then, after that, I started networking with people. I
Mm-hmm.
started talking to people. I started connecting with people on LinkedIn. And
Mm-hmm.
then I realized, I kind of positioned myself as
Sure.
to where I am and where I fall.
Mm-hmm.
So that really helped.
Ha
And
ha ha.
that's when I got a sense of, where should I be heading to.
Mm-hmm.
So that process really helped, and once I kind of figured out the waters, I decided on going in for the GMAT.
Okay.
And Yeah, well, GMAT prep, I would say I was really busy with my work, so
Okay. Ha ha
I
ha.
couldn't get time to prepare for GMAT. I initially thought I would do it on my own,
Ha ha ha.
but then because I was not getting any time, I ended
Mm-hmm.
up going to a coaching class, and it
Mm-hmm.
was a fairly small class because larger classes, I was not sure about these
Sure.
larger brands, so I went to a fairly small class and kind of
Mm-hmm.
studied for GMAT there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, my first attempt wasn't all that great. I've never been known to do great in tests such as GMAT.
Mm-hmm.
But then, yeah, I got a decent score. Initially, I got a score of 650.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I thought, well, let's just apply with this.
Okay.
So I applied at Manchester. I had a decent profile, I would say. Not definitely not outstanding, but yeah, pretty decent profile.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, and my essays were, I think they were great because I have a knack
Mm-hmm.
for writing.
Okay.
Yeah, so I feel my essays were great. So it worked with Manchester.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and this was, well, this is again a little funny, but I applied back in 2019 Jan.
Okay.
And I got into Manchester, and that time I was still very confused. I was still exploring. I wasn't very sure of anything. So I thought it would be a wise decision to defer it. So yeah, I asked for a deferral. They were very kind about it, and they deferred it. And this time again, things caught up with me. Work caught up with me. I thought maybe I would give another GMAT attempt and maybe cross over the barriers of 700. Finally, I did a quick 15-day prep and went and sat the GMAT. Luckily, I got a 680 this time, although I couldn't cross the 700 barrier, but I got a decent score. But meanwhile, another thing that I did was I started networking again. This time, I started networking with the AdComs, and I started networking with the environment that the university has. All the people in the university and all that. So I think that really helped. And when they came over to Bangalore, I stay in Bangalore. So when they came over to Bangalore for all these MBA fairs, I would definitely make it a point to go out and meet them. I even managed to get a few appointments outside of the MBA fair. So I would take them out for a beer or a coffee or something like that.
Sure.
So that kind of really helped build this rapport. And yeah, I ended up with a 35% scholarship at Manchester.
Okay.
So and also another thing was I knew where to apply to. I was very focused about it. I didn't want to apply anywhere and everywhere because I know that wouldn't work. So I knew I had to apply at Manchester. And coming to Simon, that's again a little funny. I applied because I was just itching to apply. I just wanted to apply. I just wanted to write an essay. I really enjoyed the process of writing an essay for Manchester. So I wanted to do that. I connected with the AdComs. I got on a Skype call, and I got an application fee waiver from that. So. Then I wrote the essays, and it worked. It just worked. They came over to Bangalore for their interviews, and I think having this in-person interview was really worked in my favor. So that, and from there, I think I got a 50% scholarship over there. Although I ended up declining that in favor of Manchester. But that was really nice, and I think if I had pushed them, they would have they would have probably been able to improve their offer. But I was pretty clear, and I was certain that I had to go to Manchester. So
given the current scenario, they would have surely for sure, sir.
Yeah. So the current scenario is such that you really don't know what to say about it.
So yeah, so that's how you ended up into the B schools that you ended up, and you are pretty clear about going for UK as a geography, like you stated. Didn't you thought of other European B schools also, because there are pretty good European B schools also, other than maybe UK specifically?
Right. Yes, there are some amazing schools in Europe. I mean, immediately names that pop up in my head are HEC or INSEAD. Just amazing. Or I even considered IE because they have some interesting courses. But then with UK bringing in this post-study work visa, that really tilted the balance in favor of UK. Initially, I did think of applying, but then after this post-study work visa thing, I thought doesn't make any sense to apply to Europe because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
but having said that, Europe has also got some amazing visa policies. France has got a 2-year work visa. Germany, everyone knows the policies are open. Spain, I think, is a little difficult, but still, the challenge of learning a new language in Europe kind of scared me. I wanted to be in familiar territory. Conversing in English is just so much more comfortable.
Okay, got it. So that's kind of zeroed down to UK, and obviously seeing the new point system that we are seeing from the UK visa, I think we can find the next Stanfords and Howards out there in UK. Like lot of talent.
Well, hopefully Manchester turns out to be one.
Yeah, a lot of talent from India will actually be eyeing UK maybe in the coming years until this US comes up with some other policy. I don't know. So so that was more about it. And lastly, like you stated, you come from a tech background, if I'm not wrong. So there are a lot of tech folks actually who are actually looking for B schools abroad as well as India and looking for a GMAT preparation. So any advice for them? Like how do they approach the overall process of getting into B school?
So GMAT, I would say, first get that thing out of your, out of your plate. So before you start off with your applications, just get done with your GMAT, and then don't look back at it. That is what I would say. Because there's so many other things that you need to do. Networking and writing essays and all that. So and for GMAT, I think if you're confident about your concepts, I think self study is great. You've got those official guides are great. And I studied only from official guides.
Okay.
Right. I did not refer to any other material. So official guides are great. I think, and I've seen so many people refer only official guides, get great scores, 750 plus and all that. So yeah.
Sure. So that's more about the GMAT part. Other than that, there are 2-3 important components that you pointed out, like the networking part or the essay. Essay is obviously something that you are very good with, and maybe few of the people will be actually reaching out to you. Who knows now? So, so can you just say how did you approach the other 2 things?
Right. So networking is basically LinkedIn. I just use LinkedIn. You just got to go there, search for people, and just connect with them. Connect with the alums, connect with the current students, connect with anyone and everyone in the office, in the MBA office. So that's what I did, and that really helps. That shows your intent. If required, even send out emails. In fact, you should send out emails, and you should connect with them. That part really and there are some schools that also connect you with some students. I know of, for example, there's Step Up.
Okay.
Step Up has these sessions where you can register, and some students they can connect you with students. They on a one-on-one call. So for about half an hour. So yeah, there are many avenues. All you need to do is explore.
Sure.
But basic things, LinkedIn. Just go out there, connect with everyone from the university, or rather the B school. So that is what I would say about networking. And for essays, I would suggest it takes a while. It doesn't come naturally. You can't be like, you write a draft or, in a second draft, and you just go out there and be like, okay, this is going to work. How I approached essays is that, for a 500 word essay, I took the word limit out of my mind. I just started writing.
Okay.
And I ended up with 2,000 words.
Okay.
So, and then I had to narrow it down. That's where your skills come in, that, you please don't use flowery language. That's just not going to help. So try to be as to the point as possible. Make it as concise as possible. And I was actually amazed that there were a few points that I had actually originally, elaborated into 2 or 3 paragraphs that ended up being in 2 or 3 points.
Okay.
So that can really happen, and cut out the fluff. There's a lot of fluff that we end up writing in our essays. Cut the fluff out. Keep it as professional as possible, as to the point as possible. Like, for example, if they ask you what your goals are, go out there and state your goals. Your first line, your opening line, most preferably just say it. And then after that, try elaborating on it. Why that goal.
Got it.
So yeah, that's how I approached the essays.
So Azhar, so those were the major points that I had. I think we are good with it. Until unless you have anything more to add, I think we can wrap it up then.
Well, I would just wish everyone luck who is applying to B school.
Thanks a lot, Azhar. Thanks for sharing time with us, and maybe I will surely reach out to you to understand the essay part.
You yourself are brilliant.
So, thanks, Azhar. Right. Bye.
Yeah, take care. Bye.
Thanks for watching the video, and do subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.